The following stories are based on real-life events. The names of the people and companies involved have been changed to protect the safety of the storyteller. These accounts may be shocking but are 100% true. Viewer discretion is advised. What is up, everybody, and welcome to Tales from Sales, where I talk about the most ridiculous and outlandish stories that I've seen and heard from my over 10-year experience in the retail industry. Now today, I'm going to end this series off with a quick but funny story about karma and how if you're rude to people that are working in a retail environment, ultimately you will get what you deserve and karma will come back and it will treat you not so very nicely, just like you decided to treat the people that you deal with. Like I said, this series was really fun to do. I am ending it with this episode. This will be the last episode in the series. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you've got a laugh or two at just how crazy people can be when it comes to a public environment. Now today, like I said, it's going to be just a quick story. I was working at a, like I said, another store where I was the manager. It was one of the same stores where I worked in one of the other stories that I told you guys at the beginning of this series. But I was working late one night with another associate behind the counter, and it was about 8:30 or 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and a grown woman came up to the store, came in the door, and immediately when she came in, I could tell that she was not in a good mood. She was not happy with whatever kind of service she was given, or just she was just not in a good state of mind. Now, as soon as she came in the door, cuss words started flying. And I could tell that it was not going to be a pretty time for the next about 10 or 15 minutes, as she just explained to me all of her problems and how it was my fault that she was not happy at that moment. Now, as I tried to calm the woman down, it actually escalated and got worse, and she began to be more irate, and she was, cursing me out in front of the other customers in the store. And after about 5 minutes or 10 minutes of her just, laying into me, and I explained to her very calmly that I could not help her with what she needed at the moment, that I was going to have to contact my supervisors and go ahead from there and move forward with that. She, after about 15 minutes of talking to the other customers, even, she was telling them how she was never going to shop in my store again, and how she was never going to come back, and how she was going to report me to the Better Business Bureau and get the town to boycott my store and all this and that and everything. In reality, it was her fault. The problem that she was having was actually her problem and not mine, and it was due to a lack of responsibility on her part. She did not perform the requirements of her agreement, and it came down to the fact where she was going to have to spend a lot of money, and she thought that was my fault and the store's fault and not her own, whenever she's a grown woman and should take responsibility for her actions. So needless to say, she was trying to make me out to be the bad guy in front of about maybe 10 to 12 people in the store at the time. All the while, her brand new 2008 Cadillac Escalade was parked out front of the store, blocking other customers from getting in. And I'm talking parked in front of the store, like right in front of the doors. So no one was getting in, no one was getting out. Well, I happened to work in a strip mall district kind of thing where there was a lot of stores and a lot of people going in and out. Even on a Friday night that late, there was a lot of people around. Now, keep in mind, she parked her brand new Cadillac Escalade right in front of the store. Well, I did not know this at the time, but she had left it running. Now, while she was in the store yelling at me for 15 minutes, her Cadillac Escalade was parked out front, running with the keys inside. Now, finally, after about 20 minutes of her ranting and raving in the store, she decided she was going to leave because she wasn't getting anywhere. As soon as she walked out the door and I turned my back to her, I heard the door ding again, and in she came, hysterical, yelling about how her car was stolen. Her Cadillac Escalade that was parked in front of the store with the keys in it, left running, was stolen while she ranted and raved about something that was her problem. Now, of course, I felt bad for her because, I mean, who wants to get their car stolen? And that's just a terrible thing. But in reality, if she would not have parked her car in front of the store and came in a huff trying to get what she thought she deserved, when in reality she should have just taken responsibility for her actions, her car would not have been stolen. She probably wouldn't have left it running. She probably would have parked it in a spot, and she probably would have locked it when she got out of the car. But in that 10 to 15 minutes that she decided she was going to come in the store and make me out to be the bad guy, her car was stolen. And that is why karma doesn't like it whenever you treat people badly. And so if there was one thing that I'd like you guys to get out from this series, is that when you're dealing with people, in a public environment, think of them as if you would be wanting them to treat you in the way that you're treating them, if that makes sense to you. If you're treating them badly, imagine if you were on the other side of that and they were treating you badly, and they were yelling at you, cussing at you, despite if it might be their fault, despite if you might think it's their fault. Ultimately, we should be treating each other how we want to be treated, and that is ultimately why I saved this story for last, because karma came back and bit this woman. You know, she probably acted like that a lot of the time towards people that she thought she could, you know, get one up on, and it came back and it did not do her justice. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I had a lot of fun doing it with a couple people that I had on as special guests. If you did enjoy it, let me know in the comment section below. If you have any stories from retailer you feel like you could weigh in with a story or two, please feel free to let me know. Share them with each other and with me in the comments below. So that's about it for me, guys. I'll catch you later.